Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. We're going to go ahead and get ready for a quick shoulder routine to, again, release stress and tension in shoulders and to boost our energy. I'm going to use a timer today because we're going to hold each pose for 1 minute. So I'm going to get ready and start our little timer. It gives us a couple seconds count in. So find a comfortable stance with the feet hip distance wide and parallel. You're going to reach your arms forward and interlace your fingers with your right index finger on top. And that's the bell that sounds us starting. You're going to draw the head of the arm bones back so you get those shoulder blades to draw onto the back. And then slowly reach the arms overhead. Now as you reach the arms overhead, be mindful that the rib cage doesn't pop forward and the lower back overarch. But instead, thigh bones stay rooted back. Tailbone lengthens and you move the rib cage back. Now as the rib cage moves back, reach up through the mound of the index finger. And as you reach up through the mound of the index finger, you draw the pinky side of the hand down towards your head. You squeeze those upper arms towards the ears. And you do your best to breathe. Good. And your arms might be bent a little. That's perfectly wonderful. Meet yourself where you are in the moment and release. We're going to switch sides. This time left finger on top as we interlace. Draw the arms into socket and then reach overhead. Good. You're reaching up through the mound of the index finger. And this should feel like more work than it looks. The pinky side of the hand, draw it towards your head. You hug the forearms towards the ears. And the whole time your feet are rooting firmly into the earth. The tops of the thighs root back. Tailbone lengthens, lower belly draws in. The rib cage moves back and you breathe. Oh yeah, that part. Few more breaths. We're holding each of these poses for a minute. And we made it. Release. Now from this position, interlace the fingers behind the back. You can do your right index finger on top once again. As you stand tall, draw the shoulder blades towards one another and then draw your hands towards your right waistline. Now as you draw hands towards right waistline, gently squeeze elbows towards each other. Move the rib cage back into that left arm. And right ear towards right shoulder. So I'll probably be doing the opposite side than you, since I started with my back facing you. Do you welcome a few deep breaths? Just letting the tension drain away from the neck. The feet firmly rooted into the earth. We made it. We switch sides. Switch the interlace of your finger. Left index finger on top. Elbows gently squeeze. Rib cage moves back and tailbone lengthens. And you can think of drawing the lower belly in and up a little bit. Then right ear towards shoulder. Deep breath. You're going to feel so much better after this practice. A spaciousness through the neck and the shoulders. An openness across the upper back. And your energy will naturally lift. Part of the reason is that we're opening up chest and ribs so that the breath can move in with greater ease. More oxygen, more energy. Just a few more breaths. And release. Okay, final one. We're going to interlace the fingers again, index finger on top. You stand nice and tall. Draw the head of the shoulders back and stretch the arms as straight as they're willing to go. Now if you've had a hard time getting those fingers to interlace, you can always hold a belt behind you. So either way, fingers interlaced or holding a belt, stretch from the shoulders out through the knuckles. Maybe bring the heel of the hand together if this is an easy, breathable pose. Keep the sides of the waistline back, the sides of the neck, and then experiment with lifting the arms. But if you lift the arms and your chest comes forward or your back arches, you've gone too high. Lower them a little. A few more breaths. The minute's a long time. So now switch the interlace of the fingers, left index finger on top. We stand tall, from hips to underarms we lengthen. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other and lengthen the arms back behind you. And remember, don't force things. You can always hold a belt instead of interlacing fingers. Breathing. If you're able to bring the heel of the hands closer together, as you keep the sides of the waistline moving back and the tailbone lengthening, experiment with lifting the arms behind you. Just a few more breaths, we're almost done. You might be starting to sweat like me. This takes a lot of effort, so see if you can surrender and soften. Don't fight it so hard. And that's it. Stand in mountain pose for a brief moment and feel the upper back, expansive and broad, the chest open. Even the soles of the feet will probably connect to the earth in a different way now. A few more breaths here in mountain pose. Because as much as we open our heart, it's very important to stay firmly planted and grounded in the moment. We don't want to fly away. And as you finish up the last breath, and then gently bring the hands together to Anjali Mudra. I thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.